What's up, party people, and welcome to Stoniecast number 185 and season 6, episode 11 of Thoughts and Hunches, Making Money in Bunches and Sucker Punches. It's your boy Stony coming back at you for the 185th time, and I'd like to welcome all of my fellow shady characters, lowlifes, heathens, scumbags, criminals, hoodlums, fugitives from justice, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, hustlers, wise guys, scoundrels, foul-mouthed raging alcoholics, MLB players that have got into a fight with Bryce Harper. You know who you are. Thanks for watching. Cheats, gangsters, fienders with abusive language, degenerates. Let's face it, anybody with a massive gambling problem. If you're new to the show, hey, that means you probably fit into a few of those categories, so welcome. Because you're now one of us. One of us, gooba gubba, one of us. We accept. Know the reference. That's all I got to say. Hey, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down here in the lower right-hand corner and ring that bell. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. To spread the word's also very easy. Just tell other degenerates, fienders, and scumbags you know, like Josh, to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches right in the search bar. That'll take you directly to my page, and you can get dialed into everything I give you. Also, if you're new and you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. The books don't expect a guy like me to deliver this many winners. I'm an outlier, and I'm a disruptor, right? I'm like the Beastie Boys. I disrupt.
Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene.
That's what I do. I go to the window. I go to the mattresses every single week, and I get the info in order to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. Now, before I get to the picks, as usual, I have some thoughts.
Give me all you got. Listen, give me all you got.
It never gets old. It just never does. Okay, first a little housekeeping. Monday, this coming Monday, 5 days from today, is the beginning of college basketball season, right? It's a long season. Starts on Monday and it ends the first Monday of April, right? I will have daily picks for you in the comments section of each video. So starting Monday, you can come in and check in on this video and see what I have for you on opening night. Same with the next day on Tuesday. Then next Wednesday, when I do another Stoniecast, I'll give you my picks for Wednesday. I wish I could do futures, but the books don't do that, and the books only give you daily lines. They don't give you futures. Some of them might, but usually they don't. Maybe for the bigger games they do. But just college basketball starts on Monday, so make sure to check back and start peeking because I'm going to have plenty of them. College basketball, I bet more college basketball than any other sport because it's a daily action. I wouldn't even look at the NBA, but college basketball, I like to bet. I had a very profitable year last year. It was very good, borderline excellent regular season, and a tremendous freaking March Madness where I just went off. So now, okay, I could go all in on the gambling problems of the NBA, namely Damon Jones, Chauncey Billups, and Terry Rozier, among others. But I'm going to wait a week to fire on them because all that news broke last week after I'd released this. So this is the first chance you get to hear my thoughts, and I won't. I'll do that next week. I also want to fire on the punk-ass Miami Hurricanes. And worse, they're fans. But they can wait too. Instead, I'm going to start with Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly being fired from Louisiana State. The fact that he was fired isn't a real surprise, but it's the sheer arrogance of that asshole. LSU has one of the best fan bases in the country. But when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, LSU was irrelevant. They didn't matter. Nobody gave a shit what happened to them. It was Nick Saban that started it all and built a culture there and made it possible for guys like Les Miles and even Ed Orgeron to win national championships while making LSU into a national power year after year. Kelly had arguably the best job in America at Notre Dame, and while he had success, he thought he'd have a better chance to win a title in calling Baton Rouge. We all remember that nightmarish welcome to Louisiana moment at the Maravich Center when Kelly faked a Southern accent to appeal to his new fans, and of course the infamous recruiting video. Oh God. All of that would have been forgotten had he won, but he didn't. Sure, you can say, but he was 34-14 at LSU, but that's not why they brought him to Baton Rouge. He was there to win a title, and he was basically Penn State of the South. Beats a lot of teams that he should, but never wins the biggie. That was never more evident than on Saturday, when he lost not only the team, but his fans as well. Give Ole Miss credit for taking it to him in Death Valley at night, where the Chinese Bandits have been nearly unbeatable over the years, right? But that had to be embarrassing for the LSU bigwigs to see their fans fleeing while chanting, "Fire, Kelly." There are pictures online of LSU's team singing the alma mater in front of an empty stadium, and it's absolutely pathetic. I think that was the last straw for Kelly. My boy McGahee, a.k.a. Willis, a follower of this Stoniecast, took me to a game last year, and I had a blast. But I can only imagine what Willis is going through right now and how he feels, or even felt about Kelly. So, McGahee, if you want to chime in and just, give me a little take in the comment section to let me know, or you can reach out to me directly. Either way, I don't care. I just want to know how you feel, right? Now Kelly's out of a job. Sure, the $54 million buyout is a nice cushioning blow, right? But he's going to be coaching within 2 years, just like James Franklin. At least Franklin, who's such a likable guy, can get a job as an analyst on TV. But Kelly is such a prick that nobody likes him. He was hated by Notre Dame fans when he was in South Bend, and nobody's going to put him on TV, right? Now we've got LSU, Penn State, Florida, Arkansas, Stanford, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Oklahoma State, and more, possibly Florida State too. Who's going to take these jobs? That's what I want to know. Well, Lane Kiffin can basically go wherever he wants, and he's been linked to LSU, Penn State, and Florida already. But he can't be the leading candidate for all these jobs. We have to let it play out, right? Because once he decides whether he's going to stay, which I think he will, or if he leaves, that's when the chain of events is going to happen. And it's going to be a busy winter, a very busy winter before all these bowl games start. Now, coaches are going to start moving on up, like George Jefferson, from the mid-majors or from very good power conference programs to get the big paycheck. Look at Mike Elko. Not everybody can be Mike Elko. That was a home run hire for Texas A&M from Duke, and look where he's got A&M now. All I can do is just wish the best to Brian Kelly, his fake Southern accent, and his family.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
A great day to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family. Now, as for the week that was, a rough start to the week with a split on Tuesday Night Football, a loss on NFL Thursday, and another split on NCAA Friday night. Not necessarily had me reeling, but I had some catching up to do. Saturday came around and I just changed the narrative. A 5-2 start set the tone for a great day, including a winner in the degenerate special, again, as Utah rolled. Add it all up, and a 13-7 week in college football is top-notch. That's 65%, fellas. NFL Sunday was a battle in the morning and a rough afternoon. But a Sunday night winner and a Monday night loss led to kind of a rough NFL weekend. So let's take a peek at the numbers. Last week, overall, 22 wins, 19 losses. 53.66%. That's not a good week. right? But you can't go broke taking a profit, even if it's as small as that. And NCAA football for the season, 110 wins, 71 losses, 4 pushes, 60.77%. That's just incredible. Still over 60% for the season. Forget about it. NFL took a hit. 74 wins, 53 losses, 1 push. 58.27%. Almost a whole percent drop after a rough go in the NFL last week. MLB playoffs. 51 wins, 42 losses, 1 push. 54, let me try that again. 54.84% with only a couple games left, and we need to hit them all now. The degenerate special, I just keep cashing. 8-4 now. 66.67%, which is just top notch. That's otherworldly. Thursday night, 7-8. 46.67%. That's not good. Time to step it up. Sunday night, 4 wins, 4 losses, 1 push, 50%. Hit 3 out of 4 to get to 500. Monday night, 6-6, 50%. That ain't going to work, right? Friday nights have been good. Degenerate specials been good, but Thursday and Sunday night and Monday night, all the night games, just, when the sun goes down, has been hurting me. Overall, all 10 episodes, every single pick that I've given you this season, 235 wins, 166 losses, 6 pushes, 58.6%. Numbers are still large, all across the board, all right? And that can mean only one thing. Charlie?
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
That's Charlie. Charlie Sheen, winning. It's what he does. It's what I do. Once again, please remember that all these picks are 100% free. So for all the touts out there that are charging you for picks and giving you guaranteed 75 to 80% winners, come on, stop. Right? We all know you're full of shit. Right? Plus, you're charging for these picks. Oh! I mean, come on, really? With me, it's very simple. Just come to YouTube every week and I'll give you the picks for free. It's very simple. Right? Plus, I want you all to know that these are all bets that I am personally going to make with my own money. So I'm not just throwing darts at a board and blindly picking random games. All right, you ready? Let's do this. Away we go to episode number 11.
Just win, baby.
That's right, Al. You let him know. The new season started last night, and while I got a split in Game 4 of the World Series by hitting the under, but missing the side, I did drop James Madison in the over on the books for a 3-1 start to the week, which I will gladly take. One day in and already in the black, let's push forward tonight with Game 5 of the World Series at 8 Eastern on Big Fox at Dwyer Stadium in La La Land, where the Dodgers are minus 207 and minus 102 on the run line, while the Jays are plus 168 and minus 20, with a total of 8 at 114 to the over. Rookie Trey Yesavich goes for Toronto, while Blake Snell gets the ball for La La Land in a rematch of Game 1, where neither pitcher was great, but the Blue Jays pummeled the Dodger bullpen, kind of like they did last night, to get the win in Toronto. Tonight, though, it's Snell in L.A. against the rookie. That rookie, though, he's had some really good moments the last few weeks. The winner of Game 5, when the series is tied, isn't a lock, but it's pretty big, and it certainly gives you a leg up before the series heads back to Toronto on Friday night. Since I've got the Jays winning the series and a separate bet to have them win it in 7, I'm on the Jays tonight, on the money line and over 8. Tomorrow night, NCAA Week 10 begins. Well, it began last night, but tomorrow night, at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. 6-1 Tulane is a 3.5-point road chalk at 3-4 Texas San Antonio, and the total's 55.5. Tulane's only loss was 5 weeks ago in Oxford, and have ripped off 3 straight since over Tulsa, ECU, and Army to put them in a tie with Navy at the top of the American Athletic. And the Green Wave needs to keep winning. UTSA was having a pretty good run right up until they were pasted last Saturday at North Texas. Tulane's a better team and the obvious play here, which makes me like it UTSA at home even more. Give me the Roadrunners catching 3 and a hook. Beep, beep. Meet. NFL Week 9 starts tomorrow night at 8:15 Eastern on Amazon at Hard Cock Stadium in Bienvenidos a Miami. 2-5 Baltimore is a 7.5-point road favorite at 2-6 Miami, and the total's 50.5. Both teams snap losing streaks on Sunday as the Ravens beat up on the Bears in just one of my many winners. That's right, Al. Anytime you feel like it, just let them out. And Miami beat up on a gutless Atlanta squad down in Hot Town. Lamar Jackson is now back for Baltimore. And Miami, aside from their exception to the rule win on Sunday, are still a mess. Though Tua had his best game in 2 years. This is a big number to lay with a Ravens defense that still isn't very good. Lamar's going to get his. So will King Henry against a Dolphin defense. It just does not defend the run at all. So I'm on Baltimore here. Lay the 7.5. Friday night NCAA. 7 Eastern on the Deuce at Rice Stadium in H-Town. 25th ranked Memphis comes in as 14-point road favorites at 4-4 Rice, and the total set at 46.5. Memphis should be 8-0, but inexplicably lost to UAB 2 weeks ago before rebounding with a huge win over South Florida on Saturday in one of my oh-so-many winners. They just kept coming on Saturday. It was just ridiculous. Rice is a mess. After 3 straight blowout losses, they beat Connecticut last week. But, Connecticut, really? Rice is seriously struggling right now.
Struggling.
Joe.
Struggling.
Is that you, Joe?
Struggling.
It was. Thanks, Joe. Memphis needs to keep winning if they want to be the group of 5 that represents the group of 5 in the CFP. And they're not going to let up here. They just can't. Lay the big number and watch the Tigers roll. Also on Friday night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN at the Carrier Dome in upstate New York. 3-5 Syracuse is a 1.5-point home favorite versus 2-5 North Carolina, and the total's 46.5. I know what you're thinking. Carolina, Syracuse. Is this a basketball game? If it was, I'd be all over it. Both teams stink. We know this. If you're wagering on a side on this game, let me know so I can assassinate you. All right? Under 46.5 is the play here. NCAA Week 10 Saturday gets going at noon Eastern with a really good one in the AAC on ESPN at Datku Stadium in Denton. The 7-0 Navy is 6.5-point road favorites at 7-1 North Texas, and the total 64.5. The Middies had a couple of close shaves before taking out Florida Atlantic last week to get to 7-0, while North Texas rebounded from their lone loss to South Florida with 2 straight blowout wins to remain in the hunt for the AAC title. Both teams can roll it up, and as much as I like the Mean Green at home, betting against Navy just seems un-American. So I'm going to take over 64.5 here, as both teams are just going to keep on scoring early and often. Noon Eastern on Big Fox at the Horseshoe in Columbus. Top-ranked Ohio State's a 20.5-point home favorite versus 3-4 Penn State, and the total set at 43.5. The Buckeyes took last week off after shutting out Wisconsin in Madtown 2 weeks ago, while Penn State's losing streak is now 4 in a row after losing in Iowa City 2 weeks ago. Penn State is punchless, and OSU, for as good as their offense is, they're dominating defensively. PSU's in serious trouble here. Buckeyes, -20 and a chunk. Noon Eastern on ABC at Donald K. Royal Stadium in Austin. Number 20 Texas is a 2.5-point home favorite versus 9th-ranked Vanderbilt, and the total's 45.5. The Longhorns have won 3 straight after a bad loss at the Swamp last month. Vandy bounced back from their lone loss of the season in Alabama with 2 impressive wins over LSU and Missouri, but both of those were at home. A trip to Austin is really going to show us Vandy's mettle. Texas keeps on winning by the seat of their pants, and they easily could have lost their last 2 on the road to both Kentucky and Mississippi State. Now they're back home. Otherwise, this would be 3 or 4 in Vandy's direction. I don't know who I have less faith in, Steve Sarkisian or Arch Manning. Who am I kidding? It's Sark by a mile. Vandy is still the play here because of Clark Lee and Diego Pavia. Anchored down, +2 and a chunk. With a sprinkle, why not?
Sprinkle me, my
A
ankle.
little sprinkle on the money line never hurt nobody. At Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Big D, 10th ranked Miami's a 10.5-point road favorite at 5-3 Southern Methodist, and the total's 51.5. Miami bounced back from their horrible loss to Louisville by pounding Stanford last week with a bullshit touchdown with 5 minutes left if you had Stanford, but a good touchdown if you had Miami. SMU lost a golden opportunity to get to the ACC championship with a loss at Wake Forest, right? That was just another one of my many winners because that was an outright winner from Wake Forest. Both schools are now on the outside looking up at Georgia Tech and Virginia at the top of the ACC, which nobody thought was going to happen. Both need to not only win out, but also get some help. Miami's leaving the state for the first time this year, and they're going to win this one to keep the pressure on, but I trust SMU Kevin Jennings more than I trust Carson Beck. And SMU's defense, which has forced the national best 20 turnovers, SMU +10.5 at home is the play. Memorial Stadium in the armpit of America, Berkeley, California. 15th ranked Virginia is a 4-point road chalk at 5-3 Cal, and the total's 54.5. Virginia's lone loss was 2 months ago, and the Cavs have won 6 straight since and are staring at a spot in the ACC championship game without any hiccups. A cross-country trip against a not-so-good but still dangerous Cal team is not the way to go about it, especially following 3 straight razor-sharp close calls in wins over Louisville, Wazoo, and North Carolina. I like Cal here and the 4 at home. Big 12 action at Bill Snyder Stadium in the Little Apple of Manhattan. 13th ranked Texas Tech is a 7-point road favorite at 4-4 Kansas State, and the total's 52.5. Tech was the class of the Big 12 until they lost quarterback Baron Morton a few weeks ago, and they lost at Arizona State, but they rebounded last week by crushing just a gutless Okie State team. K-State's won 3 out of 4, with their only loss being a heartbreaker at Baylor last month. They've been cruising ever since, and while I like Tech to get the win and continue to climb in the polls, this is a big number to lay on the road to a dangerous Wildcat squad, and I see Tech looking ahead to next week's big-time showdown at unbeaten BYU. I'm going to take K-State here, catching the touchdown at home. Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, 8th-ranked Georgia, is a 6.5-point road favorite at 4-4 North Carolina State, and the total's 57.5. Tech continues to cruise, and they're clearly the class of the ACC, with their only close shave being a 1-point win at Wake Forest over a month ago. Since then, they've been rolling. NC State, on the other hand, they've dropped 3 out of 4, including blowout losses to Notre Dame and Pittsburgh just in their last 2. Now they're at home facing the 8th-ranked team in the nation, and they're in serious trouble. I'm on Tech here to continue their winning ways. Yellow Jackets, -6 and a hook. Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake Stony, 24th-ranked Utah, is a 7-point home favorite versus number 17 Cincinnati, and the total set at 56.5. ESPN Game Day comes into town as Salt Lake Stony gets the game day experience. Utah has 2 losses, but Texas Tech and BYU count as good losses, and they're coming off an absolute blowout win over Colorado in last week's Degenerate Special, which I cashed. Because that's all I do is just cash tickets. Cincinnati lost their opener to Nebraska back in August, and they haven't lost since. They've ripped off 7 straight, covering their last 4. Cincy's tied with BYU at the top of the Big 12 standings, but a win here by Utah puts them right back in the mix for a shot at the title game. I like both teams, and I think Utah gets a W here, but I'm going to roll with the Natty catching the touchdown on the road. Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC, we get Saturdays in the South with the 3 F's of faith, family, and football. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville pits 5th-ranked Georgia as 7-point chalk versus 3-4 Florida, and the total's 50.5. Georgia's had their share of close shaves, but they continue to win games and had last week off after handling Ole Miss, their only loss 2 weeks ago. Because an old wise man once said, you got to keep stopping, you don't have to keep stopping teams until you have to stop them. And that's what Georgia does. Florida's lost 3 out of 4, and they fired head coach Billy Napier 2 weeks ago, and they had last week off after beating Mississippi State. This is a big number to lay in a rivalry game, but I don't care. Right now, Georgia is cruising. I like Georgia to keep on rolling. Bulldogs, -7. 3:30 Eastern on CBS at TDECU Stadium in College Park. Second-ranked Indiana comes in as 22.5-point road chalk at 4-3 Maryland. The total's 51.5. Indiana's the talk of the NCAAs right now at 8-0. They covered 6 of their last 7, including winning by 50 last week against UCLA. Maryland has lost 3 in a row after a 4-0 start, but they've covered 5 straight and are coming off a bye. Indiana's going to continue to cruise, but away from the friendly confines of Bloomington, I got to roll with Maryland here at home and all those points. 7 Eastern on ESPN at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in the Grove in Oxford. 7th-ranked Mississippi is a 13.5-point home favorite over 3-5 South Carolina, and the total's listed at 54.5. Ole Miss bounced back from their lone loss of the season at Georgia 2 weeks ago by winning at Oklahoma in just another one of my winners.
Hoo-ah!
The thing is, that was the biggest win of Lane Kiffin's career, I think. On the road at Oklahoma against that defense, this Ole Miss team's no joke. USC's lost 3 straight, but they gave Alabama all they could handle last week. Ole Miss is eyeing a trip to Atlanta for the SEC championship, and they need to keep on winning. These are the ones that they seem to lose in the past. But this one features a great quarterback matchup between Trinidad Chambliss and Lenora Sellers. Are you ready? Hell yeah, damn right. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we? Hey, flim flam, bim bam, Ole Miss, bye, damn. Rebels, -13.5. 7 Eastern on Big Ten Network at the Big House in Ann Arbor. 21st ranked Michigan is a 20.5-point home favorite versus 2-6 Purdue, and the total's 51.5. Michigan's won 4 out of 5 and rebounded from their loss to USC a few weeks ago by taking out Washington and Michigan State last week. Purdue's lost 6 straight, and though they only lost to Rutgers by 3 last week, they've been blown out everywhere else. Michigan makes this one look easy. 7:30 Eastern on ABC at Neyland Stadium on Rocky Top. 14th ranked Tennessee is a 3.5-point home favorite versus number 18 Oklahoma, and the total's 56.5. UT broke their 3-game coverless streak by taking out Kentucky last week, while Oklahoma's now lost 2 out of 3 after Ole Miss beat them up last week. This game's all about Tennessee's high-scoring offense versus Oklahoma's stingy defense. I have major questions about Tennessee and Oklahoma's offense, right? Tennessee's defense and Oklahoma's offense, which is just not clicking since John Mateer came back from his injury a couple weeks ago. I like Tennessee here at home, and I'm going to lay the short number. 7:30 Eastern on NBC at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. 23rd ranked Southern Cal is a 6-point road favorite at 6-2 Nebraska. And the total's 58.5. Nebraska's won 3 out of 4 and rebounded from a loss in Stoniepas's by taking out Northwestern last week, while USC's lost 2 out of 3 and had last week off after losing at Notre Dame. Both teams are solid, if unspectacular, and this is too many points to lay on the road for SC. I'm going to take the Huskers and the 6 at home. Give me a break. Give me a second, people. And finally, after rolling in last week's Degenerate special, this week's goes at 10:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network as 2-5 San Jose State is a 2.5-point home favorite over 6-2 Hawaii, and the total's 56.5. Both schools had last week off as San Jose State had lost 3 out of 4 after losing to Utah State, while Hawaii's won 3 in a row and are coming off a win at Colorado State. Hawaii has proved this year that they can win on the mainland, and Saturday should be no different. I like the Rainbow Warriors on the road, catching 2.5 right here with a little sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle.
The late night get right and a sprinkle. NFL Week 9 Sunday gets going at 1 Eastern with a good one on Fox at Energy Stadium in H-Town, where 6-2 Denver's a 1-point road favorite at the 3-4 Texans, and the total's 40. The Broncos are red hot, having won 5 straight, though Philly was the only good team they beat during that stretch. So you got to kind of look at that. While Houston's won 3 out of 4, and they seem to be fighting back from the big hole they put themselves in to start the season. The Texans have an excellent defense. The Broncos have a great defense. Bo Nix is a very good home quarterback, but not so much on the road. His splits are kind of jarring. Houston has the number 3 offense in the NFL since week 2, and at home, they're still a tough out. So I'm going to take the Texans here. I have to. I just have to. Catching the point with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
That a kid. And while we're at it, I'm also going to roll with under 40 here and watch these two defenses just pummel each other. 1 Eastern on CBS at the stadium formerly known as the Giant Ketchup Bottle in Steeltown, USA. 7-1 Indianapolis is a 3-point road favorite at 4-3 Pittsburgh, and the total's 49.5. Indy should be 8-0 with their lone loss being on a few fluke plays and a mysterious calls by the officials in their loss to the Ram Chops last month. While the Steelers have now dropped 2 straight after getting beaten up by the Pack on Sunday night in another one of my many winners.
Hoo-ah!
That's what happened. Second half, it was all over. The Colts are the best team in the NFL, and they continue to light up the scoreboard. The Steelers defense is leaking oil right now, and they've given up 68 points in the last 2 games. Now the current NFL MVP, Daniel Jones, comes in and with the best running back in football, JT, comes in, and, they're going to light him up. Colts -3 on the road. I must add that one of my loyal followers, Cameron, mentioned about my lack of acknowledgement to the famous reverse turf home underdog angle this season. And I must admit that I'm off that angle, right? But I will start tracking going forward. And the 2 reverse turf home dogs last week, all right? The one, because one of them was questionable. But the one reverse turf home dog was the Saints, and they got pummeled. The Steelers are a reverse turf home dog here, but I'm still on the Colts. 1 Eastern on CBS at Snoopyville in New Jersey. 5-3 San Francisco is a 2.5-point road favorite at the 2-6 Giants, and the total set at 48.5. This one's another reverse turf home dog in Jersey. The 49ers, though, 5-3, have flip-flop wins and losses over the last 6 weeks, and all that with an injury list that is long as it is puzzling. Hello, Brock Purdy, are you alive? The Giant, $54 million will make you want to sit out. It will. The Giants look like they turned a corner after beating San Diego and Philly, but they lost to Denver and Philly in the last 2 weeks, not to mention Cam Scatteraboo for the season, which was just devastating. 49er defense was torched last week in Houston, as the losses of Bosa and Warner showed up in a big way. The Niners get right here, though. Even though it's a long trip and an early start, SF -2 and a chunk going against the RTHD angle. 1 Eastern on CBS at Shaving Cream Stadium in Foxborough. 6-2 New England is a 5.5-point road chalk versus 3-4 Atlanta, and the total's 45. The Pats have won 5 straight, though Buffalo is the only win worth mentioning because the other 4 are absolutely putrid. While Atlanta looked like they turned a corner, but have 2 straight bad losses in a row, including last week's absolute stinker at home to a really bad Miami team. I can't, in good conscience, put my money on a team that only gave the ball to Bijan Robinson 9 times on Sunday. Pats at home? Yeah, I'll lay them. 1 Eastern on CBS at Nissan Stadium, right here in Music City, USA. The 5-3 Chargers are 10-point road chalk at 1-7 Tennessee, and the total's 43.5. I just can't. I tried it last week, but the Titans are a mess. San Diego -10. Yeah, I said San Diego. 1 Eastern on Fox at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The 5-1-1 Packers are 12.5-point home favorites versus 4-4 Carolina, and the total's 44.5. Ever since that crazy tie with Dallas last month, the Pack have rolled to 3 straight by taking out Pittsburgh on Sunday night in another one of my wins.
Hoo-ah!
Yeah, that's right, Sunday night winners. Carolina's 3-game win streak was brought to a halt by Buffalo on Sunday, in just another one of my winners.
Hoo-ah!
Attaboy, Al. Jordan Love, he shook off a slow start on Sunday night by completing 20 straight passes at one point in Pittsburgh, and now the Pack are at home. But this is a huge number to lay against the Carolina team that's been playing better, and they're finally getting Bryce Young back. So I'm going to take Carolina here, catching 12 and a hook on the road, even though Green Bay wins. 1 Eastern on Fox at Ford Field in the Motor City. The 5-2 Lions are 9-point home chalk versus 3-4 Minnesota, and the total is listed at 47.5. Detroit hammered Tampa Bay last Monday before getting the week off, while the Vikings have lost 3 out of 4 with Carson Wentz as their starter. Well, he's now done for the year. J.J. McCarthy's back at the helm, and we just don't know enough about this guy. For a good start, he had a bad start. Then he got hurt. I like Detroit at home always with that crazy running game. But I like Minnesota's defense, and I don't trust Dan Campbell going for it all the time. The Vikings, they're just going to need to be hanging around. Alligator blood is what they need.
Hanging around. Kids got alligator blood.
That's exactly what they're going to need, and that's what they're going to have. Lions win, but Minnie covers the 9. 1 Eastern on CBS at the Jungle in the Queen City. The 4-3 Bears are 2.5-point road favorites at 3-5 Cincinnati, and the total's 52. The Bears' 4-game win streak came to a crashing thud on Sunday in Baltimore, and another one of my winners.
Hoo-ah!
That's right, Al. Well, Cincinnati blew a big fourth-quarter lead, and they allowed the winless Jets to beat them on Sunday. Bears' win streak was a mirage, as they beat up on 4 junior high school girls cheerleading teams. And despite the fact the blown lead, Cincinnati got a shot in the arm with Joe Flacco, despite a really bad defense. Okay, Cam, I'm on the reverse turf home dog here. So give me the Bengals catching 2.5 with a little sprinkle on the money line. 40, where are you?
Sprinkle me, man.
Atta kid. 4 Eastern on Fox at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Always up to no good. Shout out Dre and Pac. The 5-2 Ram Chops are 13.5-point home favorites versus the 1-7 Saints, and the total's 45. The Saints are battling with the Titans and the Jets as the worst team in the NFL, while the Ram Chops are coming off a bye and getting Puka Nacua back. Rams -13.5. 4 Eastern on Fox at the Death Star in America's Playground. 4-3 Jacksonville's a 3-point road favorite at the 2-5 Raiders, and the total's 45.5. The Jags were 4-1, but losses to Seattle and the Rams mean their bye came at the perfect time to get healthy and recharge. Nate, Joe, where are you? Because the Raiders are absolutely struggling.
Struggling.
Come on, Joe.
Struggling.
Thanks, Joe. Needed that. To say they're struggling is putting it mildly. I'm going against another reverse turf home dog here, and I'm going to dance with the Jags and lay the field goal because I can't in good conscience put my money on the combo of Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. No, thank you. 4:25 Eastern on CBS at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. A good one. The game of the week is 5-3 Kansas City's a 2-point road favorite at 5-2 Buffalo, and the total's 52.5. The Chiefs have won 5 out of 6, including Monday night's blowout of Washington, while the Bills rebounded from their 2-game skid by just pasting Carolina after a bye week. The fact that this game's not on primetime is a shocker to me because both these teams just live on primetime, either Sunday night or Monday night. KC on a short week, give me the Bills at home, catching the 2 right there with a sprinkle. And yeah, that's another reverse turf home dog I'm going against, but Earl, where are you with that sprinkle?
Big timer. Big time. 40 water.
Sing it.
Sprinkle me, man.
That a kid. After waiting all day for Sunday night to see Carrie Underwood's legs at 8:20 Eastern at Northwest Stadium in Landover, we get our 5th reverse turf home dog of the day as 5-2 Seattle's a 3.5-point road favorite at 3-5 Washington, and the total's 46.5. Seahawks are hot right now, and they've won 4 out of 5, while Washington's going the other way, having lost 4 out of 5. They do get Jaden Daniels back, though, which is huge, because Marcus Mariota just wasn't getting it done. Seattle's hot because Sam Darnold's playing really well. That ain't going to last. I'm going to take the reverse turf home dog on Sunday night, catching 3 in a chunk. Finally, on Monday night at 8:15 Eastern on ABC at Jerry World in Arlington, the 3-4-1 Cowboys are 3-point home chalk versus 2-5 Arizona. The total is listed at 54. Dallas is blown out in Denver on Sunday night, but they hit the over for the 6th straight week.
Hoo-ah!
That's what I did. 6 in a row. That's got to be the best angle of the freaking year so far. Arizona's a mess, and they've lost 5 straight before getting last week off. Zona's defense hasn't been terrible, and it looks to be more of a Kyler Murray issue and a lack of a running game. But 2 of the top-rated quarterbacks in the NFL this year are Dak Prescott and whoever's playing the Cowboys. Give me Zona on the road with the field goal and over 54 to close out the week. 2 separate plays. That's 15 NFL plays to go along with 18 more college plays and the 2 I hit with last night and daily MLB playoff selections, plus starting on Monday, NCAA basketball, right? It's going on everywhere. So just keep coming back and checking the comment section of this video for daily picks. Also, keep your eye out for STONIECAST 186, which is going to drop on Wednesday. So until then, just remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. You can't go broke taking a profit. Scared money don't make money. The less you bet, the more you lose when you win. Shout out Chris the Bear FALLICA. For me, the action is the juice. Tell him, Mikey.
But for me, the action is the juice. Amen.
I'm in. That's right, boy. The difference between winning and making money is that anyone can win betting chalk, but you can't make money unless you take the dogs. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Yep, I still miss you, Gooch, my brother. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Happy birthday to Mikey H. Athens. I know you're in Vegas right now celebrating and getting after it hard. So just go easy, all right? Y'all have a good weekend.